say a prayer real quick before we get started.
Oh, is that what
By
you
myself.
gotta do today?
No, I mean, somebody. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for letting us gather here today in fellowship and do the work the city needs done, and let us do that the way you seem fit. Let us come from here and be safe where we go and carry your name and your name only in all the things we do. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
All right, so we'll start it off. I will go over some things. Laura's going to initiate the work session discussion. Going over the agenda, you got a lot of travel and training, accounts payable, and we just had an interview for the zoning board and appeals. That was the second interview we had. There's only 2 slots, so we're going to go ahead, due to the time constraint of an important hearing coming up in between our meetings. We're going to appoint both of those members and I guess reappoint Steve Clerg to his, so they're full now. That's good. And that way they both get to go to this hearing, be a part of it, and get some pretty valuable experience, because they usually, until the last 6 or 8 months, is pretty stagnant board unless there's a big problem. So they're getting some work in, and it's perfect timing for them to jump on board. We have resolution for myself to find get signatures for banks for anything needed. Declaring F-250 surplus, and then we got all the travel and training. I did want to discuss a few things that came about. You know, if I got so much, I'll write it down, I forget it. The baskets, do you know if Reed and them have gotten with the club about hanging the baskets downtown on the light poles and stuff, you know?
I've not heard anything other than what we had in the meeting last.
Yeah.
2 or 3 meetings ago. I've
And-
not heard any progress after that.
Yo, that's in the budget, right, and all, and you were in the meeting with Sims
Right.
and all that, so.
Sims told Reed that he told Reed to make it work, and he'd do whatever he needed to do.
So we have somebody for water.
We have somebody for watering, and I think we discussed that we would buy the baskets, because we put that in the budget, and then the club would buy the other part of the baskets. I think,
Flowers and stuff.
yes, I think we're buying 12.
The hooks and all,
Yeah, well, you already got the hooks, they're already there. I think we're just buying the baskets.
but they want
Matter of fact,
more.
I know we're buying the baskets, and they're buying the others.
Okay.
They wanted to add 12 more or something.
Yeah,
Yes.
so what, do we need to just issue a PO to get that done, yo? Get the baskets in?
We're buying directly or what? On the baskets,
I have no
what's the
idea.
how?
Where would you buy them from?
I think they've got some place they're gonna check with Home Depot, because Home Depot is going to, I think, give them a cut, because they are buying it for downtown, and then they're gonna check with some other place too. They just wanted to go ahead that we was gonna do our part, so they could get their monies up and do their part and get them all together at the same time.
So I guess I can call Reed Lim and get
Reed's on vacation.
So would you issue a purchase order, or
We
would
would
you ask for a
check with Monday.
receipt to read?
Okay, we would do, it is the,
Garden
we would
club,
just,
garden club.
we don't, I'm trying to think the best way to handle doing it. We have an account with Home Depot. If they're going to purchase theirs, we can purchase directly through Home Depot
Right.
and through our account.
I knew they was gonna use Home Depot and another source, just see who got the best price. So why don't we do this? Why don't I get Miss Libby Wren and Mr. Farnsworth to come and see you, and then y'all sit down together to see
See what they.
which baskets we're gonna get, where we're gonna get them, and then go from there.
And if you get it from Home Depot, you can just get it with our account.
That's right,
Okay.
that's right, because we got somebody for watering and whatnot.
All right. Well, I'll tell Libby to get with Miss Farnsworth, and
They can
Come see
see
y'all.
y'all, yo.
all right. And then y'all know the buy one get one van situation we're in. It's gone. No more.
Mhm.
We have an opportunity to buy a van that is in person on hand for. Of course, Safe would use it. It's got a 2 wheelchair accessible thing.
Oh,
It's
Wait
a
minute. On the wheelchair, it had the 1 or 2 option, and we spoke with,
Jane.
I spoke with Ed regarding what he thought would be best, and he said the 1 lift would be a better suffice for us, because if you do 2 lifts, it's gonna take away some of your seating.
Well, and then I don't know which option this was, but it's a 80-20 match, and we get a 80-something, whatever $1,000 van for $17,000 would be our match.
I say let's get it.
And as you know, the vans we have are up in mileage and hurting.
Right.
And we have the one that we got from Cleveland County, the red one, and it's being rebadged and stickered and stuff, so it'll be in service soon.
We also need a resolution repealing the authorization for the buy one, get one free, since that's not gonna happen to get that off the books.
Yeah.
But do you have one that has a two, with the two big ones?
I don't know how, it depends on, we need to, I guess, see the numbers of how many wheelchair riders there are.
I think if you didn't have, wasn't using wheelchair riders, it would only carry, you would only able to seat like 3 people or something.
But we have more vans in Rockland, I'm just asking, cause I mean, we still have some more on the road.
But it depends on.
Would that make a difference to have that special van, you know? on
With the
certain-
2 wheelchair.
Yeah, for certain
thing.
routes, I guess we
I
just
don't
have
know.
to see,
I just
we have
asked-
to ask them.
I'm just
I
calling.
mean, if they're only picking up 2 or 3 a day, then no, but if they've got 2 or 3 hours, then yeah. But,
Right.
you know, we need to see how many. But regardless, it's a 20% match. I think we need to go whichever option.
I like that.
So we can write that up and do that. But not tonight, we can write that up later.
So do you want to
Talking
follow
about that
up
safe
with
van
them?
law that you saw.
Actually, I think it's a good idea.
Do what, yeah?
You want, what do you want as far as because we will have to go in and tell East Alabama.
I'd say get with Greg Patterson
Yeah.
and just
And-
see
What suits
the
them.
payoff
Yeah.
of which one is best.
Okay.
You know, 2 wheelchair spots versus taking away seats, or more seats in 1 wheelchair spot. Just see which one he prefers, because it's for them. We need to finalize. We need to give a kind of a verbal nod on the incentives for Lloyd's and the Wharf that were discussed last meeting. I think it was last meeting, because if so, then Brian Cass can get started on his legality stuff. We don't want him to get halfway through and like, no, and then wasted time on his part and money on our part.
Speaking of that, did y'all ever finalize their contract or the agreement with the things? Did
No,
y'all
it's
ever do
the
that?
same contract, the 85,000 contract, and then we have to go back. All it is upping it for the lack of inflation adjustment over the
Yeah.
years. And I mean, we obviously don't have the money right now, so I said we have to wait till the first quarter trend revenue comes back in to see the trend, to see what we can do. And they were in agreement, so that's fine.
That's a
But,
good idea.
you know, they also know that whatever programs they bring in, you know, that they have some great programs that they're trying to implement and want to introduce to us at some point when they're ready. But, you know, that's on their dime.
And I
their
believe
pool.
they'll do as much as they can with their grants. and
Sure,
stuff.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
I mean, they can get them. But, yeah, so that's still going on as normal. Like I said, if we're good with the incentives, we'll give just all it is a verbal yes and get Brian will go ahead. So,
We're gonna have to fix that, but I'm good with it.
I mean, it pays for itself.
I get it.
Yeah. It does.
Food 98.7% sure the Food World buyers are backed out now. The money man, if you will, has got a lot going on. Claimed he quoted $1.2 million roof on it, so he can't afford a steep price of what we're giving him for the building. So
Steve.
his words, not mine. But so they are probably gonna back out, and I think we ought to just get with
Put it up
Greg
for
or
sale.
somebody and get it listed.
I agree.
Don't you, Lee?
Does it really even need to be?
Well, that was fine. That was told me 2 days ago, I think. So
So should we approve what he's told us?
now let's do it.
Excuse me, Meg, I mean.
That's Ashton. He is good
Cuss
with
me,
his
don't
name.
cuss me.
I know. You want Kim to get with Brian to,
For the incentives, for the go ahead, yeah. To begin,
For the next agenda.
yes. Am I missing something?
Nod to continue our capital project station.
Yes, the Station 2 upgrades and construction going on. We finalized that in last year's budget, and now it's carried on because of other things going on into this year's budget, so they're gonna have to spend the money in this year's budget. And they just need a verbal nod to continue construction and doing what they're doing.
How much more
Got
you got left
painting.
to do?
Well, a lot of it, we haven't done a lot because the interior wall ended up being built like an exterior wall and took way more time, effort, and energy to take out than what we thought, because it was a solid wall, not a hollow wall.
I got you.
And then the floor is the thing in question, it's like 47, whatever, it's floating under that $50,000 range where you have to bid out. So it's fine, we don't have to bid out, we've got that big, contractor, whatever, price, and, we can do that, but the argument was that that was not included in the previous year's budget, overall scope of work, and that's what we need to figure out, if that needs to be a whole new project or money, PO, whatever. I think that would be the easiest, it's under 50, so PO it to get it done.
So did we
Okay.
agree to it and not
It
to pay
wasn't,
for it, or?
Yeah.
it wasn't in the scope. It had been
It-
talked about that he wanted to do that, but y'all had not approved that.
I had a total estimated cost of the project, but that one, and that was included in the total estimate, but that one part of the flooring, we weren't sure if it was gonna have to be bid out or not, so apparently it was never actually approved. So,
I have a question on that, and I don't know if Kim talked with you. I think we had one quote for the flooring.
yes,
Is there a possible way that we can get additional quotes? Because normally in,
you try to get multiple,
you,
and that
yeah,
was,
in
like I-
capital or major purchases, we try to get more than one.
like I said, on the painting,
Mhm.
we did that, we got one quote to build the price around, and now that we're to that point, we've had multiple contractors come in and give us a quote, and the price, we got one quote that was drastically less than the amount that the quote was built around initially.
Built on the same scope.
Yes,
And we have to be careful too, because we can't take a big project and break it into several smaller projects that come in under the number, because that's
Yes.
a violation
yes.
of procurement.
The issue with the flooring is that because of the water sealing and drainage issues of the Station 1 bay floor, we have to be very careful to make sure that we have somebody who absolutely knows what they're doing and is gonna maintain the waterproofing that's existing.
I remember this is, we've talked about this a couple of times. So Nate, why don't we just, whatever needs to be done, because, I mean, I guess we've already agreed for the upgrades and the.
Just get a second
Yeah,
quote.
to do everything that needs to be done, just make sure that whatever needs to be done is included, because we don't wanna do this and then have to come back. Cause I mean, you wanna get it done and then move on to something else.
Right.
So just, like you said, just get the other quote and then.
I mean, if they're both under 50, we'll roll with it.
I just
you know?
feel like it's been a year, let's just go and get the other quotes and we need to see what we need to do, if that makes sense.
We'll try, I'd question whether or not we can find a contractor to do the type of flooring we need, but I will make some phone calls and see if I can find somebody.
Contractor's hard to find, to do anything.
I mean, we're talking about a sure enough industrial grade epoxy.
Well, let me ask this,
He
so,
did it the last time, have we contacted the ones that did it last?
Which company was that?
I don't know, we had it done, it hadn't been, no, it was, I don't know.
Yeah, just look for another
Oh,
quote, and see
oh.
if you can, if you can't, just, let us
I'll
know.
look and
just
see.
bring a quote and 2 no's.
I'll reach out.
Yeah, there you go. So we
That makes
held
sense.
off on the discussion, Laura's got about the vacation policy again. Jane's in here, cause I know it has to flow through HR and new policy, stuff like that, so.
I just wanted to bring up that we need to put some type of procedure in place about I know everybody's trying to rush and take their vacations in the month of November and December, and it's cutting us short in many departments. You've got, there needs to be something in place that maybe staffing that they need to be 95% fully staffed or 90%, some kind of number put in place for them to be staffed efficiently,
Well,
so our
a
city
quick-
can run.
I agree, a quick fix is, you can't take off before a holiday or after.
But shouldn't it be a department head thing?
You know, it-
Right, yeah, like, I
flows
mean, that's
through
what, I've
him.
talked to several of the department heads just to see what their feel on it was.
What about the year to date?
And
Yeah.
also, I also brought up about since everybody's vacation time starts over in January, no wonder they're rushing to take it in December
And
because.
just use it or lose it.
Right,
Yeah.
and so what about like their vacation time starting the month they were hired, and then that would have everybody staggered within the city of when their vacation starts over.
I know my two places that work, we can't take off before holiday or after, and then at the funeral home, we don't
But-
take off the week of Christmas or
But
Thanksgiving,
Doesn't
period.
vacation have to be approved by the department head?
Yes.
So I mean,
But then we have a
We have a
procedure in
policy in place now, but we're in the process of.
Cleaning it up.
Yeah, 'cause
Well, I
we
think
got-
she was just getting
Well,
at
they
if you
realize that.
staggered
There ain't
it.
complaints from any departments where they were short-handed through the holidays.
And I think what she's getting at is
But
if you
isn't- but
stagger
isn't
it.
I know I'm gonna sound mean, I always sound mean, but isn't it the department head's fault?
That's their
That's
responsibility.
That's
fault.
exactly right.
So that's, so
I
it's
mean,
not,
that's true,
so
that's
that's kinda not-
accurate.
that's,
But the
That's
thing,
not
but
on
I
us.
But
think
if we
this
have a
is,
policy
what
in
Laura's,
place that they can go off of.
what Laura's trying to say is the month of December, it's almost like City Hall is shut down.
We have people
You
who's
ain't
not,
got,
Usually that runs under seniority, you know.
I agree,
It's up to the
Right.
department heads.
and so, something's got to, I mean, the city's got to run.
right,
Well,
let
and
me
it,
ask you, so who's complaining, like?
nobody was complaining. It's just an idea because it was noticed, you know,
Yeah,
that
ain't nobody
everybody.
complaining.
It's good reasoning that everybody's trying to rush and take off in
Like-
December because they don't want to lose their vacation.
Right.
That's
Right.
fine.
But there's also less to
But
do around the holidays
Yeah,
because
but it's the
everything else is shutting
holidays.
down.
but you've got people who, I
It's
mean,
still
are
gotta
like
run.
vendors who haven't,
It's-
you know,
but it's
missing
running.
funds
No,
and
you're
stuff
not
like that,
missing
that's
it.
a,
Whoa, excuse me?
vendors have not been paid, we have our sanitation.
Incorrect,
And
incorrect,
that was-
absolutely,
that was an
totally
issue.
incorrect.
That's not incorrect.
It
I
is
haven't
totally
heard the vendor.
incorrect.
Okay.
You're
but
telling
the-
a lie.
Okay.
If you-
Nope,
if
nope,
that's
incorrect.
right. Would you like for me to pull the proof?
I mean, you can pull the proof, but there was an issue with that particular invoice that you're talking about.
So somebody is.
However,
complaining.
no
Y'all
one.
saying
No, that's
somebody-
just
something that was
Wait a
different.
minute. No
I mean,
one,
they-
okay, and
Something.
today was the first time I've heard anything about that.
But they've not been paid since October, so, you know,
So who called, who, and why hasn't accounting or accounting?
I
I've
notified
sent it
you,
to them.
Joe, as soon as I found out about it, within minutes
He
after I
asked
found out.
for us to come to him for any
That's
issues
all I
like
could
that.
do.
So
Look
a
at you.
vendor reached out to you and said they haven't been paid since October.
Okay, so
When
did
they-
nobody
when did
call
the
that
vendor reach
county?
out to you?
2 days ago, and I immediately went to the
And they
mayor,
haven't
Okay, why
paid
didn't you
since
come
October.
to accounting?
because he said to come to him and not to talk to y'all directly,
Okay.
because he oversees y'all.
Why didn't you have the vendor to contact accounting?
I did, and they did send in something today.
Okay, like I say, I haven't heard anything except from the mayor.
I just found out about it when I notified you within minutes after I found out.
But that doesn't make
But
any
it
sense.
was-
okay, we have vendors contact us on a regular basis if there's an issue with an account, invoice, or if there's a payment issue. And as I stated to you, 3 of those you named to me, yeah, one of them, there was an issue. The other 2, it was false information, and I would love to have the information or the person to contact us so that we can explain it or to see exactly what they're talking about.
Because I think one of those that that you told me, I was told that it was not a monthly pay scale, it's quarterly, so
Quarterly.
obviously it'll be due in
Right, that
January.
one was, but
So,
this,
so we weren't at fault.
but the, like this right here, it was October, November invoices asking for an update, total including.
But they said they
December.
sent in,
Yeah,
and
Okay.
did you receive them?
We have, it's an invoice being approved and payments will be issued this week.
But that's,
But
For what?
I-
All of that, or
Yeah,
for
October,
December?
October, November, and
So
December.
why was it tardy?
part of the issue, it was the pricing issue. There was a discrepancy in what was being charged and what was on the purchase order. I don't know the whole situation because, like I said, today was my first time being notified of the situation. Carla is out of the office today. I will discuss with her to see exactly what the holdup was, but in any case, normally vendors contact the account or accounts payable when they have a problem with payment. And to go around, like I said today, when the mayor sent the email out, I did research as much as I could,
Right.
and there is a payment being processed this week. However, it's unfair to our office for us not to be notified of these issues or to put us in contact, because there are some issues, like I say, 2 of the invoices that I was questioning about, it's not behind.
I got a question. If somebody, the way this government is set up, if there is a problem, shouldn't they call the mayor anyway? I mean, the mayor they should have called him, he's the boss.
But that's why I went to the mayor immediately.
Because they
and told-
contacted
It was
because
an
they contacted
executive
me.
issue,
Yeah,
that's
but-
what you brought to my attention.
And I know, that's what I'm
Not
saying.
Yeah,
to
that's
the
what-
department who
yeah.
handles
But
it.
Well, that's fine, we're not arguing
Yeah,
about
we're
the
not
handling
arguing,
of
but
it.
I was just saying that kind of flows in that everybody's,
I guess my whole
we're fully
thing is
staffed.
if everybody is given bits and pieces of information, wouldn't it make sense for, if it's a check or invoice issue, that accounting be
And that's
notified
why
or
they sent
accounts
an email,
payable?
yeah.
Just
And that's
contact
like
them and
us.
talk
I mean,
and say,
yeah.
hey, when did you
Yeah.
send
So
it?
we
Let me
can
see
see
the
what's going
invoice.
on.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know
we
if
go
that-
from there.
That's the purchase order.
But for one, y'all, we need to be on the same page, cause we're all on the same team, so I
Right.
hate to say this. Vendors shouldn't be calling me to tell me they didn't get paid, but if that happens, that's the mayor. If something happens in any department, that needs to go to the mayor.
That's what I
I'm
did,
not, you
yeah.
know, I'm gonna put them in contact with the mayor, you see what
Yeah,
I'm saying,
that's-
like,
Mhm.
cause,
So, yeah, just contact the one in question and say, when did you get the information? You know,
And
It's
that's
being,
why
it's being
that-
approved tonight.
Yeah, it's been, and.
for all
it's-
3 months, or allegedly,
It's it's 2 months.
November, December?
October.
And it,
Okay.
the
So
December
here's
will be
my
paid.
question, I deal with POs a lot, how do the requisition and the POs not match?
I think when it was, the contract was issued, it was one where you have a CPI increase.
Mm-hmm.
And when the department issued the purchase order, the requisition, the CPI amount was not calculated in the
Yeah.
Gotcha.
PO.
But why did it go 3 months without,
Laura, like I told you,
I
today was my first time.
and it's not
hearing
you,
it.
like, it's not you.
No, but I'm
it's-
just
but it's-
saying, I mean, we're sitting here in public talking about this, and I'm just telling you, I just found out about it. I'm researching it, and I found out what I can, and I know payments being issued this week.
Alright, we'll get on it and you
This
do
is
your
an
research
executive
tomorrow.
issue, it'll be handled properly and everything will be explained properly.
Thank you, Mayor.
So that's all we got on the work session.
hey, I got something.
No, it's not. Okay, go ahead.
We do got this, the vehicle inventory, but
Just got it today.
it's, we don't want this, it's a lot. So,
You asked for it.
I don't know, well, it's still,
So you get what you asked for.
well, this isn't what I asked for.
You asked for the inventory and the.
Y'all do always provide every information we have.
So-
I thought we
Well,
was
sure.
just, I thought we was just looking at police
We decided to
inventory.
do
We gotta
everything.
do all, because you still have to consider the fire department and all
Street
city
department,
vehicles
yeah.
if we're gonna, and street department.
What we have gone through and did a maintenance,
Yeah.
calculation of all of the vehicles over the past 3 years.
Yeah, and the only reason I brought it up to say that we got this, I was gonna say if y'all was okay, I think that y'all need to consider this as a part of capital. So maybe once they get this information, you can schedule a capital,
And do a department each year, do it all at one time? or-
well, it doesn't matter, I mean, it doesn't matter, we don't know because,
We hadn't
one car,
dissected it.
one car may be in one
Look at the
department
prioritize
worse,
that
yeah,
list.
it has to be prioritized, but it still needs to be broken down into departments, but
Mhm.
y'all also need to have, gotta have a capital meeting.
Yep.
So this needs to be part of capital.
I agree.
So
Okay. Alright, well, we'll,
this is all-
adjourn and start a council meeting here in a few, give us about 10, 15.
Yeah.